Okay, so today we'll start with location of roots of a quadratic equation. Suppose we have a quadratic equation like this. Right. It will have two roots, and because we are discussing the location of roots, so we'll be talking about only real roots. Because we cannot in a real plane we cannot define the location of imaginary roots. See, so first condition will be if both roots are of course real. Both roots will be real. If both roots are positive, means they will lie in the interval 0 to infinity. Means graph either will be like this if leading coefficient is positive, or if leading coefficient is negative, graph will be like this. So both the roots, the point of intersection with x-axis will lie in 0 to infinity, right? So the condition should be, first condition should be discriminant has to be greater than 0, because or equal to 0 as well, because graph can also be like this, just touch. So both roots will be real and equal. Graph will be like this. So first thing should be discriminant greater than or equal to 0. Means roots has to be real first. And second condition would be, we know that both roots will be positive. So see, this is called vertex. This is called vertex. This is vertex. This is vertex. So the formula of vertex is minus b by 2a, right? So, or you can also say this will also be positive, right? This will also be positive. But the required condition would be, because both roots are positive, so sum of roots has to be positive. It means that sum of roots is minus b by a. So minus b by a has to be positive. And third case would be product of the roots has to be positive, because both roots are positive. So if you multiply, you'll get positive value. Note it down. You have to remember all these conditions. I see it is working today. Wow. Archit and Abhoz videos are not working, na? Oh, working. Raghu as well. Done, noted. Now, second case would be if both roots are negative. That is, they will lie between 0 to infinity. Means like this. Maybe like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, something like that.
0 to minus infinity, na?
Sorry, my bad, my bad. Minus infinity to 0. Yes. So first condition would be discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. Second condition would be, see, both roots are negative. So sum of the roots would be negative. And the product of the roots would be positive, because both are negative.
Sir, Less than 0. So I didn't
No,
understand the discriminant part.
discriminant, see, roots are negative. So like, -2, -3. So roots are real, na? So discriminant has to be positive, na? Or equal to G. Noted? Third condition would be uh, if both roots are less than a given number. Let's say k. So there will be uh, two different cases. See, in the first case, suppose your leading coefficient is positive. If leading coefficient is positive, then shape will be like this. If leading coefficient is negative, then shape will be like this. Now, so suppose this is one root and this is second root. This is one root. This is second root. So both roots has to be less than this number k. It may be positive, it may be negative. So in this case, first condition should be discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0 because the roots has to be real. It may be different, it may be equal. Second case would be same. If both the roots are less than k, definitely vertex will also be less than k. So the formula of vertex is minus b by 2a, that will be less than k. And third condition would be, see, at this point, where do you see graph? That is above x-axis. So at point x equal to k, the graph will give you positive value, right? The graph will give you positive value. So value of function at point x equal to 0 has to be positive. But in this case, discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. Second case, of course, vertex has to be less than k because k will be here. But in this case, you can see that the graph lies below x-axis at this point. So in this case, fq will be less than 0. Understood? So if you combine this, you'll get if you combine this, if you want to combine both the conditions, then you will get something like that. See, d is greater than or equal to 0 is common. This is also common. The only difference is this. So multiply a and this. See, a is positive, fk is positive. So a into fk has to be positive. A is negative, fk is negative. So if you multiply this, a into fk is positive, right? So a would be discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. B will be minus b by 2a has to be less than this. Or C will be a into fk is positive. Done. Condition 4. If both roots lie in a given interval, suppose k1 and k2. So again, there will be two cases. If a is positive and a is negative. So if a is positive, graph will be like this. So this is one root, this is second root, So K1, both roots has to lie in this interval K1 and K2. So in this case, first thing would be discriminant greater than or equal to 0. Second would be C. If both root will lie between K1 and K2, so of course, vertex will also lie in this region only. So vertex has to lie in this region K1 to K2, right? And you can see one more thing, that at K1, at x equal to K1, you can find graph above x-axis. Same for K2 as well. So function value of function at K1 and value of function at K2 has to be positive. And here in this case, if you see, graph shape of the graph will be downward, and this is the K1, this is K1, this is K2, and this is alpha, this is beta. So the condition should be discriminant greater than or equal to 0. Second condition would be vertex has to lie between K1 and K2, and C, value of function at K1 and value of function at K2 has to be negative. So just to like combine these two conditions, you can see that discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. Second, minus b by 2a will lie between this in this interval, and C would be if you multiply fk1 into fk2, in both the cases this is positive and this is negative. So in both the cases you will get positive value, right? But if you don't remember, this is how you can break this into cases. Noted? Now, fifth case is if exactly one root will lie in interval K1 and K2 exactly. So see, if A is positive, if A is negative. So you can see that the shape of the graph will be like this. So one root alpha and other root beta. So exactly one root has to lie in this interval. So maybe alpha can lie or beta can lie, does not matter. So K1 and K2. So in this case, discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0, right? And what else we can see? See, the only thing that you apply is here, you cannot predict about the vertex. So the only thing you can say that is Fk will be negative and Fk1 is negative, Fk2 is positive. But if this graph is like this, if this graph is like this, like this root lies in this interval K1 and K2. So in this case, Fk1 is positive, Fk2 is negative. So just multiply this Fk1 into Fk2. This is negative, this is positive, this is positive, this is negative. So one is negative, one is positive. So product will be negative. And here, in this case, graph will be like this. So this is K1 and this is K2. Or one more case we can have like this. This is K1, this is K2. So in this case, you can say that Fk1 is negative, Fk2 is positive. In this case, Fk1 is positive, Fk2 is negative. So just combine fk1 into fk2 is negative. So this is the condition for this.
Sir, which is FK1 or FK2 is positive in the first one?
Does not matter. Like in k1, k2 can be positive, negative, anything.
Okay.
Okay. Now, sixth point is if if a real number lies between the roots. Suppose if A is positive and A is negative. So in this case, this will be like this is alpha, this is beta. So that number will lie between the roots. In this case, it will be like this. This is alpha, this is beta, and K will lie. So in this case, you can see that Fk is negative and A is positive. So A into Fk is negative. Here A is negative, Fk is positive. So again, of opposite sign. So A into Fk is negative. So discriminant is greater than or equal to 0. This is the required condition for both the cases. So that is how you can apply your logic, right? Now I'll take one question. See, this question says that now, so now you all solve this question. Solve first. Tell me the answer of first question.
सर फर्स्ट वाले का आंसर
बोलो
1 से 9 दोनों क्लोज्ड.
गलत. Minus infinity to 1 and then 9 to infinity. See, we have this quadratic equation x squared minus m minus 3 into x plus m equal to 0. M is a real number. Find the value of m for which the roots of the equation are real and distinct. See, roots are real and distinct. There is no condition. Roots will be less than or anything or greater than n. You just have to put the condition real and distinct. So you just have to apply d greater than or equal to 0. Correct? No, can't be equal to 0. D can't be equal to 0. Question says real and distinct. If d will be 0, roots will be equal. So just greater than 0. That's it. So put b square, that is minus m minus 3 whole square. That minus will be gone. Minus 4 ac greater than 0. Break this. M square minus 6m plus 9 minus 4m like this. So m square minus 10m plus 9. Factorize this. M square minus m minus 9m plus 9. This is m minus 1 into m minus 9. So you can see that from here, m will be less than 1 or m will be greater than 9. Understood? The Viveka method, I already told you. Correct? Okay, one done. Now tell me what the second
9 or 1
means. 9 or 1 means?
means
Okay,
m
okay,
is
equal. Equal. If it is equal, d will be 0. So 1 and 9, correct.
सर थर्ड वाले का 2 से 8 होगा
2 से 8,
सर 1 to 9 दोनों ओपन
1 to 9 दोनों ओपन, ऐसा होगा. क्यों ऐसा? Not real means discriminant has to less than 0.
नहीं सर मैंने सॉल्व नहीं करा था मैं ऐसे ही कह रहा था वो देख के क्योंकि जब रियल वाले में तो सारे वो थे ना
मैं जब रियल सी 1 and 9, अगर रियल हो रहा है तो m का वैल्यू 1 से छोटा और 9 से बड़ा होगा. तो नॉट रियल होगा तो 1 से 9 में होगा, खत्म.
सर वही तो 2 से 8 तभी तो बोला मैंने तो
तो
1
तुम
टू
2,
9
अच्छा तुम 2
1
से 8 क्यों बोला?
2 से 8 बोला 2 से 8 क्लोज दोनों तो वही तो एक बात हो गई ना 1 से 9 और दोनों
ना, एकदम एक बात नहीं हुई, क्योंकि 1 से, अरे 1 से 2 के बीच में इनफाइनाइट रियल नंबर है. 1 से 2
अच्छा
के बीच
ठीक है
में इनफाइनाइट रियल नंबर है.
ठीक है हाँ ठीक
रचित मेला देखने नहीं गया?
नहीं सर
अभी जाएगा क्लास के बाद?
नहीं जाऊंगा
क्यों?
पापा कहाँ लेके जाते हैं
तो अकेले जाया करो ना.
अकेले जाने भी नहीं देते ना
अच्छा ऐसा है क्या? बोलो, फोर्थ बोलो. अपोजिट इन साइन मीन्स एक रूट रियल होगा and other root will be one root will be negative and other root will be positive.
अगर
See,
d is greater than or equal to 0 or a into b less than 0
see, I'll tell you a logic. Like, don't remember the formula always. So leading coefficient is positive. So shape of the graph will be upward. So graph will be like this. So one roots of opposite in sign. So one root is negative and other root is positive. So 0 has to lie between these two roots. Means one thing you can apply discriminant greater than 0 because no can't be equal to 0 because these two are distinct roots. So discriminant has to be greater than 0. So m will lie between this interval. Just we found, and then the graph lies below x-axis at x equal to 0. So f0 has to be less than 0. Correct? This is the only thing that you can apply. So put here. So if you put this in quadratic equation, x equal to 0, 0, 0, m. So m is less than 0. So now you have to find the value of m that is common to both this and this. That is common. So common will be less than 0. So because this is like, here from this condition, we can see that m will be either less than 1 or more than 9. And here it is saying that it has to be less than 0. So the common would be less than 0 only. Right?
f of 0 is negative or m is negative, एक बार वो वाला वापस समझाना.
F of 0 is negative because both roots are of opposite sign. So one will be negative, one will be positive. So 0 will be in between.
सर इंटरसेक्शन ऑफ दोनों निकालना है ना, तो लेस देन
Yes,
-1.
this is 1, not -1. And so at x equal to 0, graph lies below x-axis. Na?
अरे
So the
हाँ 1 है.
value of function at x equal to 0, if you put x equal to 0 in this equation, the value should be negative. So
हाँ
that's put,
करेक्ट.
I put x equal to 0 here, 0, 0, and then m. So f0 is m. So m has to be less than 0. Everyone? Are you see? Understood?
सर m is less than 0 नहीं समझ में.
कुछ नहीं बेटा, f0, this is your function. Just put x equal to 0 in this function. X equal to 0, if you put, this is 0, this is 0. So f0 is m only, na? Or f0 has to be less than 0, na? Correct?
Yes sir.
सर फिफ्थ वाले का ग्राफ कैसा होगा?
तुम बताओ.
वो तो टच करेगा क्योंकि वो इक्वल है, पर ऑपोजिट इन साइन तो 0 उनके बीच में रहना चाहिए.
ठीक से पढ़ो. कह रहा है कि इक्वल इन मैग्नीट्यूड.
मतलब टच
मैग्नीट्यूड इज
करेगा.
इक्वल. Equal in magnitude but opposite in sign means if one root is 3, other would be -3. So magnitude is 3 but sign is opposite. So leading coefficient is positive, so shape of the graph will be upward, and it will be like this, symmetrical. If this is minus alpha, so this has to be alpha, where alpha is a positive quantity. Now you can see that discriminant has to be positive, so m will lie between -1 to -infinity to 1, and then 9 to infinity. And because some roots are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign, it means that some of the roots will be 0. Sum of roots will be 0. And if you, from this equation, if you find some of the roots, that is minus b by a equal to that, it has to be 0. So m will be 3. Now if you take common from these two things, m will be null, nothing. Because from this equation, from this condition, we have m will lie either less than, m will lie uh, uh, either in minus infinity to 1, and then or 9 to infinity. And from here we get m equal to 3. So 3 does not fall in this interval. So there is nothing common, right?
m is equals to 3 पे वो imaginary roots आएंगे ना हमारे,
क्यों?
क्योंकि रियल रूट्स के लिए जो हमारी वो थी
रियल रूट्स के लिए कंडीशन है, और क्योंकि जो रूट्स है ना, दे आर इक्वल इन मैग्नीट्यूड बट ऑपोजिट इन साइन. सो इफ वन रूट इज 3, अदर रूट इज -3, सो सम ऑफ द रूट्स विल बी 0 ऑलवेज ना. And what is the formula of sum of the roots? That is minus b by a. So minus, and b is minus m minus 3 upon a is 1. So that will be 0. So m is 3.
सर हाँ सिक्स्थ वाले का 9 से इंफिनिटी होगा, 9 पे ओपन।
9 closed.
तो डी
Answer
इज
is
ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0 है क्या?
such
Six.
that at least, sorry, 6 is positive. So both roots can be equal, na? They have to be
अच्छा,
positive only.
तो 9 से
So,
इंफिनिटी 9 पे क्लोज्ड, तो ठीक।
हाँ,
सर नेगेटिव में फिर वो होगा ना, वो 1 पे क्लोज टिल नेगेटिव माइनस इन्फिनिटी।
no, see, roots has to be positive, right? So roots has to be positive. So leading coefficient is positive. So both roots graph can be either like this or this. So like, you know, there is no condition like, you know, roots will be distinct. So roots can be distinct and can be equal, but they have to be positive. So discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. So this will be like, you know, m will lie between minus infinity to 1, closing 1, and then 9 to infinity. Now, one more thing you have to see, roots has to be positive. It means that what is the condition of for both the roots to be positive? That is, sum of the roots has to be positive, right? Sum of the roots has to be positive, and the product of the roots has to be positive. So from sum of the roots, that is minus b by a, that is minus m minus 3, that is positive. So m has to be greater than 3, and from here, product of the root is m by 1. So m has to be positive. So what is common to all three information? That is C, 1 to 9. So from first condition says this, second condition says that it has to be more than 0, and third condition says that it has to be more than 3. So the most common thing is 9 to infinity. 9 to infinity.
सर सेवेंथ वाला में 0 to 1 1 पे क्लोज्ड।
Correct.
Sir, why can't we take 3 to infinity?
Because, you know, from 3 to 9, nothing common. See, this if you take from 3 to infinity, then in that case, this will not satisfy.
Okay, sir.
सर एट्थ वाला और फिफ्थ वाले का ग्राफ सेम होगा क्या?
At least one is positive.
तो
So there
फिफ्थ
will
वाले
be
के जैसा ही होगा क्या?
so there will be two different cases. If one root is positive and both roots can be positive, because you know
अच्छा,
saying at least
हाँ
one
समझा।
is
सर
positive.
7 का माइनस इन्फिनिटी टू 1 है ना?
नहीं, सेवेंथ का 0 to 1.
0 to 1।
हाँ, क्योंकि देखो 7 क्या कह रहा है, both roots has to be negative. So the graph will be like this. Either this, just touch, or this. So this discriminant has to be positive. So from here we'll get m, this, and if both roots has to be negative, means sum of the roots has to be negative, product of the roots has to be positive. So sum of the roots, that is m minus 3, that has to be negative. So m is less than 3, and from here m is product of the root is m, that is positive. So if you make a number line, so from here you will see this will be like 9 to infinity, or minus infinity to 1, 3. So from 3, oh sorry, less than 3. So this, and from it has to be more than 0. Wait. Something wrong, I think. Both roots has to be negative, na? One moment, 1 minute. Oh, sorry. 0 is here, na? 0 will be here. So this is less than 3. This is less than 3. And here more than 0. So the most common thing would be 0 to 1. Correct? Because now this interval lies in falls in this category as well, in this as well, and in this as well.
सर 8th वाले में एटलीस्ट पूछा है ना, तो इसमें तो
At
दोनों भी
least
तो आ
पूछा है.
सकते हैं
See,
ना.
the case will you see. I'll tell you. 8th one says that such that at least one is positive. So graph will be like this. At least. So like this. Or so at least one has to be positive. So either one will be positive or both will be positive.
तो नल होगा क्या?
एक बार इनको भी ट्राई करने दो, आयुषी और अर्चित. So one thing you know, both roots has to be positive. So discriminant will be greater than 0. It means that, or here this graph can also be like this. Both has to be this. So this will be like minus infinity to 1 and then 9 to infinity.
सर बट थर्ड केस जो आपने बनाया उसमें भी तो दोनों पॉजिटिव ही आ रहे हैं ना, तो उससे फर्क थोड़ी पड़ेगा.
I mean graph, I mean discriminant can be equal to 0. वो मैं बोल
अच्छा
रहा हूँ.
ठीक.
So from here, if you see, this will be like, it will include 1 like this. And in this case, if you think, one root has to be positive and other root will be negative. So 0 will lie in between the roots. So f0 has to be less than 0. So this is m, that is less than 0. And then here, from here, if you see, both roots are positive. So sum of the roots has to be positive and product of the roots has to be positive. So m minus 3 has to be positive. So m is greater than 3. And from here, m is positive. So from here, if you see, so the value of m can be minus infinity to 0. That is the most common thing. And from here, if you see, the value of m has to be more than 9 to infinity. So you just have to combine this. So minus infinity to 0. And then, so either this case can happen or this case can happen. So you just have to combine these two results. Understood?
सर
Hmm.
9th वाले में हम लोग क्या क्या चेक करेंगे? t is greater than equal to 0, f of 2 is less than 0.
एक सेकेंड बता दो, अर्चित और आयुषी को नोट कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
Sir, this is 0 including, right?
0 including, why so?
Because sir, I
Because
didn't understand
F0,
why.
no, F0 is M. M cannot be equal to 0. No? Because you know,
Yes.
this graph, this has to be positive. So this graph cannot pass like this. So F0 cannot be 0. No?
Done, sir.
Okay, ninth one is,
तो डिस्क्रिमिनेंट तो ग्रेटर देन 0 होगा एंड एक बार अल्फा बीटा
हाँ,
नेगेटिव होगा और
ninth
अल्फा
कह
बीटा
रहा
अगर
है कि
पॉजिटिव
one root is smaller than 2 and other root is greater than 2. It means that graph will be like this, anywhere like this. So 2 will lie between this, between these roots. 2 will lie between roots, right? So discriminant will be positive. Discriminant can't be equal to 0. Otherwise 2 cannot lie
सर
between them.
एक और हो सकता है ना कि अगर दोनों पॉजिटिव हो बट 2 बीच में लाई करे
No, I am not talking about the sign of roots. It can be anything. One positive, one negative. No. Yes. Two cases are possible. Both roots can't be negative. Like this also. Yeah, correct. But that is fine. And 2 will lie in between them. So F2 has to be negative. F2 has to be negative, right? So put here, that is 4 minus 2 times m minus 3 plus m is less than 0. So 4 minus 2m plus 6 plus m is less than 0. So 10 minus m is less than 0. M has to be more than 10. So if you check if you see common would be 10 to infinity.
हाँ यही आया.
Hmm. Tenth बताओ.
सर सेम होगा 10 टू इंफिनिटी
10th का भी.
हाँ
10th is both the roots are greater than 2. Both the roots are greater than 2. So it is like 2 will be somewhere here. So for discriminant has to be positive or greater than or equal to 0. So m will be minus infinity 2 because this case is also possible like this. 1 and then 9 to infinity and F2 has to be positive. That's it. First put here. So in this case m will be less than 10 because in previous case F2 was negative. So it should be 9 to 10.
सर वो मैंने गलती से F2 को नेगेटिव ले लिया था सर इसमें कितने केसेस बन सकते हैं ग्राफ के?
यस सर, इसमें बहुत सारे केसेस।
सर आप म्यूट हो।
1 and then 9 to infinity, and f2 will be positive, so m will be greater than 10. So the if you take common, you will get m is greater than 10. This is your answer. कहाँ ज्यादा केसेस बना?
सर फिर मैं मतलब अल्फा बीटा में चला गया था, फिर उससे तो बहुत
नहीं,
सारे
एक
केसेस
सेकंड,
बने
एक
थे,
सेकंड, एक
अगर दोनों
सेकंड,
नेगेटिव दोनों पॉजिटिव।
सर
हाँ
m is
बट
greater
उससे
than 10
हाँ
या less than 10?
f2 is positive ना? Okay, f2 is positive, is less than 10 ना? Less than 10.
सेम ही आंसर था, ये भी 9 to 10, 9 पे क्लोज।
नहीं, नहीं, here क्या, यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि 1 से छोटा भी होगा एंड 9 से बड़ा भी होगा एंड 10 से छोटा, so like this. So minus infinity to 1
हाँ हाँ,
and then
9
9 to
10।
10. But
हाँ
1 minute, let me check this. And is less than that. Okay, do one more thing. So vertex would be less than 2. So minus b by 2a is less than 2. Now if you see, minus half is okay. So what is b? B is minus of m minus 3. So minus minus plus. So m minus 3 upon 2. A is 1. So m has to be less than 7. See. So in this interval can't exist because m has to be less than 7. Right? So our answer is this one. Twelve करो.
क्या इसका आंसर 10 से इन्फिनिटी होगा?
Yes. Archit and Ayushi, did you get that? 12.
एक सेकंड सर कर रहा हूँ.
Sir, m is greater than 5, m is less than 7.
9. See, in
सर
12,
एक
it
तो
says that
केस वो आ रहा है कि माइनस इन्फिनिटी से 1 यूनियन 9 टू इन्फिनिटी, और एक आ रहा है ग्रेटर देन 10 होना चाहिए.
see, exactly one root lies in the interval 1 to 2. Exactly one root lie. So this is your interval 1 to 2. So two cases can be possible, like this or like this, right? So
So what if
discriminant has to be,
it's okay, okay.
so discriminant has to be positive. So from here you will have m minus infinity to 1 and then 9 to infinity, open bracket. And then if you see here, f1 is negative, f2 is positive. Here f1 is positive, f2 is negative. So just apply this concept. Multiply this, this will be negative. That's it. So one is
10 टू इन्फिनिटी है.
yes. If you put x equal to 1, you will get this. If you put x equal to 2, you will get 4 minus 2m plus 6 plus m. That is negative. So this is 4. That is fine. And this is 10 minus m is less than 0. Of course, m has to be more than 10. That's it. So if you now you take common from this and this, you will get 10 to infinity. Understood? I see.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
थर्टीन में हम कैसे वो करेंगे, जैसे m माइनस 3 अपॉन 2 बिलोंग टू 1,2 होना चाहिए.
में क्या कह रहा है कि both the roots lies in the interval. So this is like this, na? That's it. Or it may be like this, just touch. So discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. First condition, and then another condition is f1 into f2 is positive. That's it. Now from here, same thing, na? That is F1 is 4 and F2 is 10 minus M. So M has to be less than 10. So the common would be minus infinity to 1 as well as 9 to 10.
तो 9 to 10 वाला कैसे ले सकते हैं? Both roots lie between 1 and 2.
क्या?
Both the roots lie between 1 and 2 ना? तो 9
नहीं.
not 9,
Okay, both the हाँ right ना, क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
9 to 10 कैसे ले सकते?
क्यों?
दोनों रूट तो 1 और 2 के बीच में है ना?
तो ये तो M का वैल्यू है ना.
अच्छा सॉरी.
एक ये भी कर लो ना, माइनस बी बाई 2 है. ये देख लो, नहीं शायद डिस्कार्ड हो जाए. दैट
हाँ
इज
वो किया मैं. m is greater than 5 और m is less than 7.
हाँ, तो ये ऐसा होगा. तो M minus 3 is so M will be between 5 to 7. ये भी कॉमन लेना पड़ेगा तुमको यहाँ पे, इसको भी कंसीडर करो. तो ये तो गलत है, ये तो पूरा गलत हो गया. तो कॉमन लेना पड़ेगा तो वो क्या आएगा? 5 to 7 तो ये एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रहा है. ये तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं होगा. क्योंकि अगर if both roots will lie between 1 and 2, so vertex has to lie between 1 and 2. So as per that condition, M has to lie between 5 to 7, and this does not satisfy this condition. So roots can't be real for this.
तो null.
So no solution, null. Yes. समझा ये बात सब लोग? Understood? You see?
Sir, F1 into F2 is greater than 0 नहीं समझ रहा है.
That is fine. हाँ, that is fine. कि मतलब we can see that F1 is positive, F2 is positive, right? But because no, both roots will lie in this interval, so of course vertex will also lie in this interval. So if vertex has to lie in this interval, so M has to be between 5 to 7. But M, this value is not satisfied for this. If M, see, for roots to be real, M has to be either less than 1 or more than 9. So this does not satisfy this. No? So M can't be, can't take any value. Like, it will not have any real roots if M will lie in this range then. So no solution.
मैंने ये वाला पहले वाले के लिए कर दिया था गलती से.
Okay, ठीक है, नोट करो.
सर थर्ड का 10 से 14 का 10 से इंफिनिटी है.
14 का यस. आर्यन कहाँ था? अभी आया.
सर पावर
भूल
आउट.
गया क्या? पावर आउट है. अच्छा ठीक है, रिकॉर्डेड है अभी तक तो.
हाँ
रुको
हाँ
2 मिनट, ये ऑलमोस्ट डन है. अभी हम लोग क्वाड्रेटिक इनइक्वेशन पढ़ेंगे तो वहां से ठीक है. लोकेशन ऑफ रूट्स बताया था, काफी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, देख लेना रिकॉर्डिंग.
तो
बोलो 14 आ गया आयुषी और अब्रो.
सर इसमें तो कंबाइन करेंगे ना 12 और 13.
In 14 question says that such that at least one root lie, yes, at least one root lie in 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So there will be two cases like this or
सर 3 केस होंगे.
like this or both roots. So 3 cases. So solve for all these 3 cases and then combine.
तो शॉर्टकट से ऐसे भी तो कर सकते हैं कि पहले वो 12 वाले के केस में और 13 वाले के केस को देख के
बट अगर मान लो कि कुछ क्वेश्चन में 12 पूछा ही नहीं गया हो, डायरेक्टली ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया
सर
तो
वो अलग बात है, लेकिन यहाँ पे तो पूछा हुआ है ना.
हाँ, इसमें कर सकते हो. यू कैन कंबाइन. बताओ आंसर. आंसर अच्छा, अर्थित यू कंबाइंड. अच्छा ओके फाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम. स्मार्ट बॉय. Okay, now I'm giving you the answer. You can solve at home. And 15th, answer of 15th is uh, no solution for M. So solve at home. And if you find any issues, let me know, right? Now we'll move to quadratic inequation. Last thing of this chapter, quadratic inequation. So today I'm going to finish this chapter, but you guys have to solve Sankey's completely, thoroughly, right? From first question to the last question. Correct, Narchit? Everyone. Yes. Quadratic equation. See, if this is your quadratic equation, so you just have to apply the inequality. That's it. Greater than or equal to 0, or fx is more than 0, or fx is less than or equal to 0, or fx is less than 0. This is called quadratic inequation, nothing else. Inequality, right? Now, we'll take some questions. See, question says that find values of m for which 2m minus 3 into x squared plus 2mx plus 4 is less than 0 for all real x. For all real value of x, this has to be less than 0. So now you can see one thing. So this is quadratic equation. So graph will be either like this or like this, right? So but this graph, so you have to find the value of m for which this will be less than 0. So this graph has to lie below x-axis. So suppose case number 1, if leading coefficient is positive, so graph shape of the graph will be like this. So definitely this graph has to be like this. If this graph will be like this, then this graph cannot be less than 0, right? Because it is lying above x-axis. So if this graph has to be this graph has to be like this, so that this portion is between the roots, and roots has to be positive. Sorry, roots has to be real. So between the roots, the graph will lie below x-axis. So in this case, we can have this quadratic equation negative, right? So now, so discriminant has to be greater than 0. Then only between the roots, the graph will lie below x-axis. So from first case, this is the first condition, this is the second condition. So from first condition, we can find m is more than 3 by 2. And from second condition, we can find b square minus 4 a into c is positive. So 4 gone. So m square minus 8m plus 12 is this. So from here, if you see, you can factorize this. So this is m minus 2 into m minus 6. So m will be either less than 2 or greater than 6. So we can find the common, right? So see, less than 2 or more than 6, and this is 3 by 2. So more than this. So common would be 3 by 2 to 2, 3 by 2 to 2, and then 6 to infinity. For this first condition. Understood? But this is wrong. Why this is wrong?
तो वो नीचे वाले से होगा ना, ये ऐसा नहीं होगा, कॉन्केव डाउनवर्ड्स होगा ना इसका ग्राफ. It's less than 0, कुछ भी x
Oh, no,
डालोगे.
no, 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 no. I read this question incorrectly. See, it is saying that this quadratic equation has to be negative for all x.
हाँ तो नीचे से कॉन्केव डाउनवर्ड्स होगा.
But by mistake, I consider that for this x, like, between, if x will lie between alpha and beta. So in this case, this graph will be negative. So, but no, the question says that the graph has to be negative for all value of x.
So d is
So
less
this
than 0.
condition is not valid here.
D is less than 0.
So see, graph will be negative for all x. It means that graph cannot be like this. Graph cannot have shape upward, because it's like ray of light. You cannot stop it. So for that, a graph has to be like this only. This is the only possibility. This case can't be possible, and this case can't be possible. So, so you can see that leading coefficient has to be negative and discriminant has to be negative. So from here, we can have m is less than 3 by 2 and discriminant is negative. So discriminant is C. Just now I solved it. So this has to be negative. So m has to lie between 2 to 6. If you take common, you will get nothing. So from here, it says that m will lie between this and m has to be less than 3 by 2. So nothing common between this. So m has no solution. Understood? By mistake, I read this question incorrectly.
So, sir, is it mentioned that it will be negative in the question?
It is mentioned. See, here in question it is. This is always negative for all x. So
Okay,
for
okay.
all values of x, this graph, quadratic, the graph of this quadratic must lie below x-axis. Done. Next question. Find values of a for which 4 raised to t minus a minus 4, 2 raised to t plus 9 by 4, a is less than 0 for t belongs to 1 to 2. Try this.
सर इसमें क्या करेंगे?
सर 2 रेज टू टी को x मानेंगे.
फर्स्ट काम तो वही करेंगे कि 2 रेज टू t को मान लो x मान लिया. So this will be x square minus a minus 4 x plus 9 by 4 a less than 0. Now see, t lies between 1 to 2. So 2 raised to t lies between 2 raised to 1 to 2 raised to 2. So x will be between 2 to 4. Now you can see that. So this is your quadratic inequation, and now x is defined here. So in this interval only we have to talk, right? So see, leading coefficient is positive. So graph ka shape will be upward. Now you can see that if you draw a graph like this, if you draw like this, see it says that quadratic inequation has to be negative in this interval. So if you draw like graph like this, so between 2 to 4, this portion is negative, but this portion from 2 to here and here to 4 is positive. This is not possible. This is not possible. So this is also not possible because at 2 and 4, this is becoming equal to 0. So that is not possible. Not possible. So what is possible?
Concave downwards होगा.
This is 2 and this is 4. So this can be like this. So now you can see that from 2 to 4, for every value of x lying between 2 to 4, the graph always lies below x-axis. So graph will be negative only, right? It means that both, both these numbers lie between the roots. It means that you can see that value of function at x equal to 2 is negative, and also value of function at 4 is negative. So just apply, just check this value, put here x equal to 2. So from here you will get f2 is how much? So that is 4 minus 2 into a minus 4 plus 9 by 4 by a. That has to be negative. So solve this. So from here you will get 4 plus 8, 12 minus 2a plus 9a by 4 less than 0. So this is minus a by 4. So 12 minus a by 4 is less than 0. So a will be more than 48. And if you apply this condition, F4 means 16 minus 4 into a minus 4 plus 9 by 4a, that is less than 0. So 16 plus 16, that is 32 minus 4a plus 9 by 4a less than 0. So 32 minus 7a by 4, 7a by 4 is less than 0. So 7a is greater than 128. A is more than 128 by 7. Now, so, okay, 4 minus 2a plus 12. Any mistake here? F2, 4 minus 2, a minus 4. Oh, sorry, my bad. It is plus a by 4. So this is a by 4 is less than minus 12. So a is less than minus 48. Now you can see that there is nothing common between these two values because from here it is saying that it has to be less than minus 48 and it is greater than 120 by 7. So nothing common. So a has no value, no solution. Understood? Done. Solve this question. Any idea? No idea? See, let me solve. Alpha, beta, beta, gamma, and gamma alpha are the roots of this. See, if you put I equal to 1, see, if you put I equal to 1, this quadratic equation will be like a1 x squared plus b1 x plus c1 equal to 0. If you put I equal to 2 or 3, it will be like a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. So alpha and beta are the roots of this. So sum of the roots would be minus b by a, and product of the roots would be c1 by a1. Now, see, try to identify this thing. This is like a1 minus b1. If you put, see, this is the sign of product, multiplication. So if I write this, like pi r equal to 1 to 3 or 3. So it will be like 1 into 2 into 3 and like that. So this is the multiplication sign. Like we have sigma, this is for summation, na? So this is for multiplication. Now, if you see a1 minus b1 plus c1 upon a1 into a2, if you put I equal to 2, a2 minus b2 plus c2 upon a2 into put I equal to 3, a3 minus b3 plus c3 upon a3, right? Now, see one thing. See here, you first try to identify this, what exactly it is. So this is a1 minus b1 plus c1 by a1. So if you divide this, this is like 1 minus b1 by a1 plus c1 by a1. So 1 is 1. So minus b1 by a1 is alpha plus beta. So this is alpha plus beta. C1 by a1 is alpha into beta. So from here we can, if you factorize it, you will get 1 plus alpha into 1 plus beta. So now, similarly, if you do, so a2 minus b2 plus c2 upon a2, you will get 1 plus the roots of other is beta and gamma. So we'll get 1 plus beta into 1 plus gamma, and a3 minus b3 plus c3 upon a3, it will be 1 plus gamma into 1 plus alpha. Now, you just have to multiply this equation, and this equation. So multiply this. So this into this into this. A1 minus b1 plus c1 upon a1 into a2 minus b2 plus c2 upon a2 into a3 minus b3 plus c3 upon a3 will be this into this into this. So it will be like 1 plus alpha here and here square. 1 plus beta here and here. 1 plus gamma here and here. So 1 plus gamma whole square. Now you can see that you can simply write this as uh, product AY just in general BI plus CI upon AI, and then uh, or you can that is fine, and I equal to 1 to 3, and you can see just replace this, just remove this, so whole square of this complete thing, so that will come to this side, so right, so whole square of this will come here and it will become square root. If you multiply this, you will get uh, alpha plus beta plus gamma plus alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha, and plus alpha into beta into gamma plus 1. That's so this is what you wanted to prove, no? Right? And if you bring this 1 to left side, you will get -1 here. Understood? Note it down. One more class I'll take on this. We'll do some very good questions, advanced level of questions, and then we'll finish this chapter.
Sir, could you please scroll down? Sir, could you please show the question once again?
Done? Okay, next question. See, A, B, C are real number such that A plus 2B plus C equal to 4. You have to find the maximum value of AB plus BC plus CA. See, तुम लोग को नहीं समझेगा मैं बताता हूँ. What to do? See, A, B, C are real number and you have to use this condition. So do one thing. Separate A. So this will be like 4 minus 2B minus C. Now you have to find the maximum value of this, right? So let's say this is X. AB plus BC plus CA. Now do one thing. See, you just have to replace. You have to reduce the number of variables. So from here and here, you can take A comma. So B plus C and then B plus B into C. So A can be replaced like this. B plus C plus BC. Now see, multiply this. 4B plus 4C minus 2B squared minus 2BC minus BC minus C squared plus BC. BC gone. See, you have two variables, B and C. So first you make quadratic in B or C, any like of your choice. So I'm making quadratic in B. So see, this is minus 2B squared and B here. So take B common. So 4 minus 2C, B, and then 4C minus C is correct. Now you can see that and bring X or bring all terms to 11. So this will be like 2B squared plus 4 minus 2C into B plus C squared minus 4C plus X equal to 0. Now see, this is quadratic in B. This is a quadratic in B and B is real. So B has to be real. It means that both roots of this quadratization must be real. It may be distinct or it may be same, does not matter, but both the roots has to be real, right? So discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. So just use that. So B squared minus 4A and C. So that has to be greater than or equal to 0. Now open this.
Sir, minus 4 into in the
So minus,
equation
sorry,
b square will, sir, in the equation 2b square minus 4 and 4 minus 2c.
same thing I did, na? B square minus 4AC. Discriminant,
No,
homework
sir.
discriminant.
So when we transpose, we took x this side, then 2b square became positive. So even 4 minus 2c into b will become negative, right?
Okay, this thing. Okay, fine. Now see, but that is not going to make any difference here because square of negative will become positive only. So this C, if you take 2 common here, so 2 will be left and it will come out as 4. So 4 and 4 go. So 2 minus C whole square, that is B square, sorry, A square minus 2AB, that is 2 into 2 into C, that is 4C, and plus C square minus 2C square plus 8C minus 2X. Now you can see that this is minus C square plus 8C plus 4 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 0. Multiply by negative sign. It will become like this. Now you can see that now you have got quadratic in C. So leading coefficient of this is
C होगा ना 8c minus 4c.
so. Now you can see that C is a real number and you have quadratic in C. Leading coefficient is positive. Leading coefficient is positive, right? So leading coefficient is positive. So in this case, you can apply leading coefficient is positive, shape of the graph will be upward, and then this uh, quadratic has to be negative. So this is possible only if this is possible only between the roots. Suppose alpha and beta are the roots. So this has like the quadratic has to be like this. Shape is upward because leading coefficient is positive, and this has to be negative. So this will happen only only in between roots because in between the roots only some portion of the graph will lie below x-axis. So this will be negative. Or equal to 0 is also possible. So it can also have this kind of roots like both graph, both the roots can be equal as well. So here you can say that this schema will be either greater than 0, so means distinct roots, or equal to 0 like this. So just apply that formula b square, that is 16 minus 4 AC 4 minus 2x plus 4 greater than equal to 0. So from here you can see that 8 minus 2x is greater than equal to 0. So x is less than equal to 4. So this is the maximum value of x. Means maximum value of that. So the maximum value is 4. Done. One last question. Find the roots of 4x cube plus 20 x square minus 23x plus 6 equal to 0 if 2 of its roots are real. Sorry, क्या लिख रहा हूं मैं? 2 of its roots are equal. हो रहा है क्या? ये करके दिखाओ. See, see, this is cubic equation, so it will have 3 roots, and 2 of its roots are equal. So suppose alpha, alpha, and beta are 3 roots. Both 2 roots are equal, right? So now you find sum of the roots. Sum of the roots, that is minus b by a. So minus b is 20 by 4, that is minus 5. So 2 alpha plus beta, from here you can have minus 5. Now sum of the roots taken 2 at a time.
सर इस पे ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा कि पहले अल्फा की यहाँ से 2 अल्फा प्लस बीटा से अल्फा की. सर मैंने सोचा था बट फिर बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा.
नहीं हो जाएगा लंबा, but then sum of the roots taken 2 at a time, that is c by a. So this is minus 23 by 4. So from here you can see one thing, alpha square plus 2 alpha into beta. For beta you can replace minus 5 minus 2 alpha from here, right? And third root you can third condition you can also apply product of the roots, that is minus d by a, that is 6 by 4, that is minus 3 by 2. Now from here you solve. So from here you can see alpha square into beta is minus 3 by 2. From here you solve alpha square minus 10 alpha plus minus plus 9 minus 4 alpha square plus 23 by 4 equal to 0. So just this is minus 3 alpha multiply by 4, so it will become minus 12 alpha square minus 40 alpha plus 23 equal to 0. Now multiply by negative sign, so this is this. Solve for alpha, so this is minus b plus minus under root b squared minus 4ac, so 48 into 23 upon 24. Can I tell you the value of alpha? I am telling you the value of alpha. From here alpha will come like half and minus 23 by 6. Minus 23 by 6. Now, if you see which value of alpha you have to take. Now see, if you take alpha half. So put here in this equation you will get beta. The beta is minus 5 minus 1, that is minus 6. Now, and if you put alpha equal to minus 23 by 6, again you will get beta equal to something, that is minus 5 minus 2 into alpha, that is minus 23 upon 6. So this is minus 30 plus 46 upon 6. So 16 by 6, that is 8 by 3. Now which value you need to take? Now put alpha and beta in this equation, third equation, and validate. So alpha square is 1 by 4 and beta is minus 6 by 3. So this is minus 3 by 2, exactly matching. So this value looks correct. And if you put this value, you want to get, if you put alpha equal to this and beta equal to this, you want to get minus 3 by 2. So this is not accepted. Understood? Note it down.